Welcome to training mission number 10, in which we will cover using the INS for precision bombing. This mode is used for bombing fixed targets on the ground and greatly increases the accuracy of bomb runs, as INS simplifies the targeting calculations. Continue towards waypoint 1 and engage the autopilot. Press spacebar when you are ready to begin. For a successful bombing run using the INS, several conditions need to be fulfilled. You need a flight plan that includes the target area, a waypoint which will be used as the bombing run initial point, IP, and an offset, BAD, from the IP to place where the target is located. Let's first focus on creating offset points and set up one which we will use for our run. Press spacebar when you are ready to proceed. Look at the INS panel and the mod selector knob. On the right, you will see three different positions grouped under BAD, which are responsible for offset point. Using these settings, you can make an offset for each waypoint stored in the memory of the INS. That means that in theory, you can double the number of waypoints which you have in your flight plan. You cannot set up an offset for waypoint 0. The delta L and delta G setting enables you to set the target coordinates using the distance in kilometers from the selected waypoint to the north-south for delta L and east-west for delta G. True north is used. These coordinates will be most often given to you by ground troops using map for reference and calculating the distance from the given waypoint. The delta alt setting is used to set the difference between the waypoint altitude and the offset point altitude. For example, if elevation of offset point is higher by 60 meters, you will have to enter that value with a plus before it. The rho theta setting is used to introduce the offset distance in the left window and offset bearing in the right one. Again, true north will be used for that. This option is mostly used for introducing the bullseye's calls, provided that bullseye is set as one of the waypoints in the memory of the INS. For this mission, we will use waypoint 2, located in the center of runway incobulity, as our IP from which we will set up an offset to the target, a group of stationary trucks. You will notice that your loadout consists of Mark 82 bombs. Before turning to the IP, we will set up the offset point and prepare our plane for the bombing run. Press spacebar when you are ready to proceed. First, select waypoint 2 by pressing Prep followed by 02 on the keypad. Next, turn the knob to the rho theta mode. According to the briefing, your target is 6.1 miles at bearing 204. Let's introduce this data now. Press 1 on the keypad to activate the left window. Next, enter 0610 and accept by pressing the INS button. The maximum distance which you can enter is 53.99 miles. Press spacebar when you have done that. Now let's move to the offset bearing to the target. Press 3 on the keypad to activate the right window. Next, enter 2040 and finish by pressing the INS button. Press spacebar when you are ready to proceed. Finally, we need to introduce the difference in altitude between the IP point and the offset. Waypoint 2 is at 59 feet, whilst the target's elevation is 33. You have to inform the INS about this difference before conducting your bombing run. In order to do so, move the selector knob to Delta Alt position. You can choose between feet and meters, which will be displayed in the left or right window respectively. Let's stick with feet. Press 1 or 7 on the keypad to activate the left window. Next, press 7 or 9 to indicate that offset point is lower than IP. A small minus will be visible in the window. Type 00026 on the keypad and acknowledge with the INS. Press spacebar when you are ready. To check if the offset point which you have introduced is working, make sure that you have waypoint 2 selected as your desk and press